Is it on? I hope it's on. Let's see. Oh, it's on. Okay. I just wanted to give a quick transmission, talk about the energies of what I'm feeling coming up as we're moving into Leo season. I'm a Leo. My birthday's in a few days. Very excited about it. Leo overrules the heart. So there's a lot clearing from the heart. Programs, old belief systems, subconscious programming, things like that. Also, wounds around trust. I'm feeling this is also collective as well. Ways that perhaps we didn't trust ourselves fully, or ways that our trust has been denied by others. So we end up turning that on ourselves and not allowing ourselves to trust and not allowing ourselves to perhaps even see people clearly. Another big energy that's coming up I'm noticing is, and you know, I try to stay in my lane as best as I can because it just feels more aligned for me, but leading by example, not so much acknowledging what other people are doing, but we're human. I do see that when something comes up and I acknowledge that I don't like something about someone, it actually is an issue with myself. So when I feel into the energy of judgment, it's very much correlated with persecution. So a lot of us who are on the Christophia bloodlines, we tend to deal with a lot of persecution, like judgments and things like that. So something I've noticed lately, and another thing too, is, you know, discernment means to judge well. Like, you wouldn't get into a car with a stranger, would you? You wouldn't, I think it's best to use discernment with judgment. And I am being a lot more consciously aware of when I am judging somebody from a misaligned place, because I don't like that energy. I don't like to be judged. I mean, people say like, oh, I don't care what people think. Well, wow, you know, that for me, I think takes a lot of work. And what I've noticed is that really can come from clearing your subconscious, healing your inner child, healing your human blueprint, your angelic blueprint, your galactic blueprint, healing all of like the lifetimes when you were burned at the stake, you know, all that stuff. Like, a lot of us carry those persecution wounds. And yeah, I'm noticing, like, you know, what is it that I don't really like about people? Is it something in me that is still holding that energy? Is it, so an example, I don't really like when people are very condemning. That doesn't feel good for me. That can correlate with, you know, the church energy and like religion and like the dark father and stuff like that. So if you're an oracle or a priestess, you're going to have wounds around the dark father. You know, you've been victimized by that energy on some level, and it can feel really uncomfortable, you know. And I'm also feeling collectively there's a lot of stuff around our deepest core wounds coming up. And so for me, it's around expression. You know, I have been unraveling a lot of wounds around archonic infiltration and archonic deception, ways that these beings have projected onto me that I'm bad and wrong. Guilt and shame is connected to the bad and wrong energy. And so, you know, that's a reflection of them. And so because I believed that I'm bad or wrong, I now have to purge that out of my subconscious and purge that out of the ways that I have believed that is my true identity. And the reason why it's so important to know thyself is so that you can really anchor more of your soul essence into your body, more of who you truly are. Okay, so if you had a parent tell you you're bad and wrong, or like you can't do this or that constantly, it kind of skews your identity. And, I'm also noticing too ways that I have, denied certain aspects of myself, um, or I wasn't being honest with certain parts of myself. And I think it's really important to be honest with the parts of ourselves that we deny, or the parts of ourselves that we haven't been intimate with, or the parts of ourselves that, we haven't looked at. And it doesn't mean that it's part of who we really are on a soul level. It just means that this is the work that we signed up to do. This is the contract. This is the ancestral miasma. This is, the antichrist spirits that we're going to come up against when unraveling our false self, our fallen consciousness. And so I'm really feeling it's so important to not deny these parts of ourselves. So like if something comes up, like anger, for instance, like if we haven't been fully intimate with our anger in other people are going to trigger us, or re-traumatize us, or create a sense of uncomfortability in our nervous system. And so I feel it's very important to get intimate with all aspects of ourselves, so that we're not projecting it onto other people and making it other people's responsibilities for our wounds. And so, that's why I feel like I've been spending a lot of time off social media, so that I can really get in tune with who I am on a soul level, and not so much, observing how other people are. If you spend too much time on social media, what happens is it's like the AI gets into your consciousness, and then you tend to compare yourself to other people. And it's okay, it's not inherently bad or wrong that you're doing this, but it's like, why would I do that? Why would I operate from this sort of consciousness instead of bypassing and coming up with like a justification? It's like, what's really important for our soul's evolution is not getting so stuck in the rigidity of our mind and being flexible. I've been getting a lot of messages around having a malleable mind, meaning very flexible, able to adapt to change, so that you can move towards enlightenment. But to move organically and authentically towards ascension, it means we have to face all of the facades, the false self, and allowing it to express itself. So unfortunately, due to artificial light, or whatever good girl, good boy programs that maybe some people carry, I've carried them, and I'm also really dismantling them, because it's like an artificial light that is not allowing my organic emotional expression to come up and be witnessed. And wow, I expressed that part of me. I didn't expect that to come out of me. And so it's I think it's important to be honest with ourselves and our feelings, instead of judging or making it bad or wrong that we're having an emotional experience. Because when we deny our emotional experience, we're putting a cork on our life force energy, and then that can create leakages and blockages in our nervous system, in our body, in our energetics, and then it's just all, entities can come in. It's not healthy. We need to move this energy out of our body so that we can acknowledge, wow, that I'm feeling this way, and so I'm going to choose a different way, and I'm going to integrate a different embodiment when the human is ready authentically. Not some false light, I'm going to be neutral, going in straight into neutrality. It's no, we're human. Let's honor the human experience, I'm feeling a lot of programs clearing from the heart. So if you're feeling a lot of pain in the heart, I think it's really important to tune into your heart and asking what programs that you might still have around the heart. It's been a vibe. Yep, getting aligned with your goals and values, I'm feeling is very important right now. Prioritizing your goals, your values, where you're going, creating a vision, visualizing what you want, visualizing that version of you, and, claiming your worthiness. So a lot of worthiness issues has been coming up in the collective, as well as my system. And yeah, it's a lot of subconscious stuff. It's like you wouldn't even really think about it until you bring up this stuff and look at it and witness it from a place of unconditional love, not like judgment or like by force or being harsh. It's like a lot of our subconscious programs come from childhood. So like it's like you wouldn't be harsh to a child, right? You can't force a child to play. You can't force a child to decide to act different or be different. There's just a natural flow to things. Oh, there's a bird on my patio. Oh my gosh, so cute. I've been seeing a lot of 333s lately, so what that really feels like to me is the divine child. So yeah, the divine masculine is healing, the divine feminine is healing, lots of unraveling, and that third energy, the Holy Trinity, is coming online. So a lot of us have reclaimed an aspect of our inner child recently, and that's been such an amazing reclamation for me personally, because when you get that aspect of your inner child back, you get to experience more joy. But what I'm also feeling is very important is prioritizing my inner child, giving time and attention, and committing to a path of action. Okay, like what can I do for my inner child? What does she want? What do I want for her? How can we work together? Responsibility feels like a really big energy right now as well. So how can you take more responsibility in your life and accountability in your life is what I'm feeling. And let's see what else. Yep. Lots of heart healing. Forgiveness, letting go of the past. I've been reflecting on this idea of what it means to truly let go of the past. I feel that when I don't let go of the past, it's something that I haven't fully accepted about the thing or the situation or the person. And so I'm feeling a lot of deeper acceptance for myself, for the past, for what has happened. But I'm also looking at other ways that I haven't fully accepted certain aspects of the past. Yeah, clearing a lot of Antichrist programs that make us turn on each other. So yeah, the whole divide and conquer energy I've noticed is very prevalent right now, because the divine feminine is really coming online in the grids. It does seem as though there is some interference with the mother-daughter relationship. So being really mindful of that energy and, treating our mothers with compassion and acknowledging that it's not her fault that she's traumatized. It's not about blame or shame or guilt. It's about really processing that spirit in her that makes us feel a certain way. So a big realization of something that I've come to terms with recently is not making it about the person, but making it about what what is it in them that really bothers me? What is it in somebody that triggers me? What is it in someone that makes me feel whatever the program is or whatever the wound is, you know? And really acknowledging that and processing that and getting honest with how I feel so that I don't have to carry this weight anymore, this burden. Like, I have processed so much these past few months that I'm really giving myself permission to just move forward with like a deeper sense of confidence, because I deserve that. I deserve to be in my full expression and love myself and help others with all the knowledge that I've gained over the years. Let's see, what else can I talk about? Expectation programs. Yeah, it does feel as though I thought I dealt with all my expectations years ago. I always felt like it's very practical to live from a place of not having expectations, because when we expect things from others, we end up getting hurt. And so I noticed some stuff coming up in my bloodline. I was like, wow, I thought I dealt with that. And so, yeah, anywhere where we're holding expectations in people is coming up through the heart to clear and process. That is, I think, normal human programs. It doesn't make us weak or bad or wrong to have these things that need cleared. It just means this is the contract that we signed up for. This is the work that we're here to do. So, yeah, feeling how important it is to have a deeper sense of faith right now. A lot of us are having to really release ourselves from the consumptive modeling, from ways of like spending too much money or buying things that we don't need or overeating even. It just doesn't feel like incongruent with like the New Earth template. And so a lot of us are being tested right now around, you know, letting go of old habits, addictions, things like that, and really moving into a deeper sense of faith and not coming from a place of control. A lot of those control constructs come from wounds and not feeling like we have control over things, which can also come develop like manipulative tendencies, which can align with like a lot of the fallen consciousness. So yeah, a lot of those operating systems are clearing from our light body, and just really surrendering deeper into the process. I know it sounds like very easy to just let go and surrender, but letting go and surrendering can also be really messy, because it can require grieving and letting go of old ways and old ego constructs. So yeah, I hope that helped you. Thanks for tuning in.